What's going on, guys? I want to talk about a few tips and tricks that I'm using now that I'm trying to shred down, cut down for my bodybuilding competition that help me kind of suppress my appetite. All right, yes, I'm feeling a little bit hungry. Calories are very low and they will get a bit lower. So what am I doing to not always feel hungry? I'll give you a few tips that you can implement also. And you don't need to be competing. You can also just simply want to lose a few pounds and you want to go on a diet, but then you don't want to feel always hungry. Those tips will help you a lot, all right? Tip number one is increase your lean sources of protein. So for example, let's say that you're eating a plate of rice and chicken, all right? So instead of just adding more rice because you're still hungry, eat a little bit more chicken breast. Protein, lean protein sources are very satiating. They will fill you up. You'll be super full after increasing your protein, and the calories are very low, all right, compared to eating more rice that won't give you as much, let's say, nutrients, and it won't fill you up as much, all right? So go for things like more lean sources of protein, increase those like chicken breast, Greek yogurt. You can also add more, let's say, extra lean ground beef, tuna cans, so on and so forth, all right? Protein shakes, they do a great job filling you up. The calories are pretty low. Yesterday I was feeling starving middle of the day. I had a protein shake and I felt super good, all right? So don't worry about incorporating and adding a little bit more of that protein intake. It will do a great job fill you up, all right? Number two, I'm having one right now and it's coffee, all right? Caffeine. All right, it's been shown and proven, but it's also in my experience, as every time I have a cup of coffee, I feel like it does suppress my appetite for a little while and it works great. But you gotta understand that caffeine also dehydrates your body. So if you're in my case, calories are pretty low, you don't want to have a lot of caffeine because then you're dehydrating your body, dehydrating your muscles, and then puts you more at, let's say, a risk of injury, or you're not performing as well because your muscles get dehydrated. So you don't want to overdo the caffeine. Yes, it's good to help you suppress that appetite when you're super hungry, but don't overdo it. Don't start having 5-6 coffees a day because also it's going to have its impact on your heart and it's going to keep you awake all night. So you don't want to do that. Number three, I go for walks. I just go outside of the house. The other day I was feeling super hungry after my second meal, after my post-workout meal, and I'm like, I'm starving. I could really eat another meal right now. What I did is I just went for a 15-minute walk. It was raining, but I'm like, I have to get out of the house because I was really feeling like I would eat another meal right away. So I just went out on this 15-minute walk. It was raining, put my headphones on, walked a bit. So what happened is that the food that I just ate started to get digested because the stomach is a muscle, and also when you're walking, it's gonna help that digestion process go a little bit faster. So then you're feeling like you're full. You feel like you don't need to eat as much anymore, all right? And also just being outside, you're not so much accessing food as easily as just staying home and seeing all the bananas and all the food next to you. So go outside, go for a little walk, and it's gonna kind of change your thoughts a bit, and you're not going to be as hungry, all right? So going for a little walk. Number four, fresh fruits, all right? Fruits are super low in calories. Things like watermelon, apples, strawberries, blueberries, you name it, all right? The only things that I wouldn't overdo, obviously avocados, I put them in a different category. Don't do avocados if you're cutting down, very high in calories. And bananas, because they're a bit more like a starch when your body digests them. But aside of that, all the watery fruits, watermelon, berries, strawberries, so on and so forth, have as much as you want. Seriously, 1 pound of watermelon is just 132 calories. Can you imagine? Very low in calories. It's mostly water, fiber, and it tastes good, it tastes sweet, and it's gonna fill you up, all right? So use fiber to your advantage. So that's the point, is increase your fruits, but also increase your fiber in general, all right? Real fiber sources. I'm not saying having a fiber supplement or a protein bar that says 10 grams of fiber, but rather go for the fruits and vegetables. They will fill you up, all right? Eat your tomatoes, cucumber. The other day I was super hungry. I sliced few tomatoes, few cucumber, put some salt on them, and I was full, you know? I was full, very low calories, barely any calories, and it filled me up super well, all right? So don't be scared to adding more fruits and vegetables. I know everybody will say, well, fruits have sugar and they're bad and this and that. Don't worry, eat fruits. Avoid dry fruits such as dates and cranberries and stuff like that, because dry fruits are not the same as fresh fruits, all right? But fresh fruits, eat your apple. If you're starving, you shouldn't always be starving, all right? You shouldn't always be starving when you're trying to cut down. Yes, the last weeks of a cut of a bodybuilding prep, yes, but if you're just someone that's trying to lean down, increase your protein intake, increase those fruits and vegetables. Of course, I was gonna say my next point, which is increase your water intake. All right, so make sure that you're drinking enough water, that you're staying hydrated. A lot of people think they're hungry, but they're actually thirsty. All right, so they're thirsty and they're like, oh my god, I feel like I need something, and they start eating and eating. But in reality, all they needed was drinking some water. So make sure you're getting at least, I don't know, 3-4 liters. It's a hard thing to say exactly because I don't know your muscle mass, I don't know your weight, your height, but I would say drink more water. All right, it's really gonna help you feel fuller when you're trying to cut down. I was watching a bodybuilder the other day, and he was like, every single meal he was drinking like a liter of water, just so, because he was like few days before his bodybuilding show and he was starving. All right, so that's next point. Moving on, what was my last point? I had another point, but I kind of forgot it. Wait a bit to consume the bulk of your calories. All right, so I'll give you an example. Sometimes in the morning I wake up and I'll have my cream of rice and my protein shake, and then I'll work out, and then after my workout I'll have my big breakfast. So I have my first real big meal at like 12. All right, 11:30, 12. So it kind of pushes the calories a little bit later. So wait a bit. If you wake up and you're not starving, just take a protein shake and a fruit, go get your workout done, and then you'll be starving a bit more at lunch, and then you'll have a bigger meal at lunch. So wait a bit before consuming those big calories, because chances are if you're having a huge breakfast, which is half of your calories, well, you're left the rest of the day that you're awake for another 10 hours for only, I don't know, 1,200 calories that you can consume. It's going to be a bit hard for you. So make sure you push them a bit more, because most people are not super hungry in the morning, and they'll more likely be hungrier in the evening. So keep those calories in the bank that you have for more evening cravings. All right, so that's something that can help you out. Also, salting your meals. I realized personally that when I'm putting a lot of salt on my meals, it helps me get fuller. When I'm eating food with no salt or no real taste or flavor, I feel like I want to eat more, because it's like if it doesn't hit the spot. All right, but when you're salting your meal, really make sure you're salting your meal well. It helps me fill up and feel full and feel satiated. All right, that's maybe just in my mind, but it does work for me. Aside of that, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you liked it. I would say also, if you're someone that really loves drinking BCAAs or EAAs or electrolytes, those are things that can also help you, because then you're drinking like a flavored water, has 0 calories, but it will fill you up and take some stomach capacity. So that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.